Splitgate Arena Reloaded is officially out, and the response so far from the community is overall positive. Recent Steam reviews are mostly positive, and from what I have seen on Discord and Reddit, the core community is responding to it well. There will always be haters, you can't please everyone, but from the reviews and posts that I have seen, a lot of the negative comments are from people that never played the original, and really only ever played Splitgate 2 for the Battle Royale mode, which still might be coming back at some point. I would assume that 1047 Games would have hoped for a better launch of Arena Reloaded. I think it's safe to say that they were expecting more than 2,300 players on launch day. Now, don't get me wrong, if you were to put 2,300 people in a room together, I'm sure we would all think that is a lot of people. But in the case of an online multiplayer, it just doesn't cut it. Compare that to over 25,000, which was the peak player count of Splitgate 2, and that game didn't really have a great reception. It's a bit concerning. Keep in mind, these are only the Steam player counts, but it still gives us an indication of the player base. I can't really make a comparison to how much better the game is compared to Splitgate 2. I only played a handful of games as it didn't feel right for me straight away. For me, Splitgate 2 strayed too far away from the core gameplay that made me fall in love with the original. What I can do is compare it to the original. I think Arena Reloaded is a more polished and more scale-ready version of the original game. I mean, the original was a college project, so it makes sense that there may have been some flaws. So let's break it down. The good, the bad, and everything in between. Firstly, the good. Arena Reloaded genuinely feels similar to the original, the game that hooked me from the start. It's not trying to chase what's popular, it's found its identity again and it's sticking by it. And when 75% of your own company didn't like the direction that Splitgate 2 was taking, I think that's the first sign that there should have been some changes before launch. I think Splitgate 2 was so focused on being bigger and better, with more modes and more systems, that it forgot the foundation it was built on. It didn't really ask you to use portals the way it should have. However, Arena Reloaded plays the way it should. Portal walls were in locations that make sense, and asked the players to use them. I found myself using portals more in Arena Reloaded than I did in Splitgate 2. Now, yes, I know some of the maps now as they're remakes, but even in the new maps, I was actually looking to use portals. I think to some, the learning curve of portals was too much in the original. If you didn't react to portals fast enough, you would be constantly dead. Tracking where players were going was near impossible, and they fixed that in Arena Reloaded. They've made portals feel more fair by adding portal trails. This means that you actually know where someone went instead of just them disappearing and flanking you. And the ability to block walls by EMP or placing two portals adds some defense instead of portals just being offense all the time. It's a small change, but it does make fights feel more readable and give us the ability for more outplays. Arena Reloaded also dropped the hero abilities and factions. A big move as the core community didn't want a hero shooter. We all wanted an arena shooter. Again, it's just making the game closer to the original. The map pool is good, bringing back some classics as well as some new maps that are genuinely well thought out and don't just look nice, actually play well. They had a performance increase from Splitgate 2, which is great to see. Even some AAA games have had issues with performance on launch, and 1047 are looking to give it a bit more of a bump as well. Time to kill is in a bit of a weird spot for me personally. I enjoy that it allows for more outplays and not constantly being dead, but I think I prefer it to be a bit faster, meaning you have to be more alert to not die right away. I don't think it's bad at the moment, I'm just not sure where I land on it yet. This video isn't meant to be glazing Splitgate. I think it has some opportunities as well, with my biggest one being marketing. Now, I didn't hear about this game until like 4 days before it launched, and that's because I was reminiscing and searching for Splitgate. I knew Splitgate 2 went back into beta, and then after that, crickets. Now, I could have been a bit unobservant, but like I said, I personally didn't see anything until the final few days before launch. Now, we had one of, if not the biggest gaming events of the year, the Game Awards, and they didn't show a single trailer for it. Maybe more eyes on it would mean more players. Another issue, Splitgate Arena Reloaded isn't anything new. To put it simply, it's just a remake of the original. So people who tried that and decided it wasn't for them aren't really going to go out of the way to pick up this one. While Splitgate adds the uniqueness of portals, for some it is just another shooter game. And if you're going to main a shooter, are you going to pick up the old reliable Battlefield or COD franchise, or a game that's now flopped twice? For me, Splitgate is one of those games I just clicked with right away. When I picked it up for the first time, I knew I was going to put hundreds of hours into this game without hesitation. So when the first one died, it was a sad time for me. So when I played Arena Reloaded and got that same feeling, I got excited, but it also made me cautious. It's died before, so what's going to stop it from dying again? That's where I'm at with it. I think Splitgate has done almost everything right by the community. 1047 games listened. They reworked the stuff that people didn't like and brought it closer to what made the original good. I'm just not sure it's enough for the wider community. So when I look at Arena Reloaded now, with low player numbers and not a lot of noise around it, I can't help but think that I've seen this movie before. I don't think the game deserves to die. I think the core is too good for that. But unfortunately, multiplayer games don't survive on potential. They survive by having players, and not only that, players that consistently come back. Right now, that's the part I'm not too sure about. I hope that more people give it a shot in the next few months, and then I'll look back on this video and realize that maybe I was a bit too worried. But right now, I'm not 100%. Splitgate Arena Reloaded feels like the game Splitgate was always meant to be. I just don't think it's going to get the chance to prove itself.